Black Rock Forest lies just an hour's drive from New York City. Though close to the city, this forest has a reputation for being wild, harsh, and unpredictable. It was there, in July 2014, that three friends, Emily, Mike, and Josh, decided to go on a weekend camping trip. They wanted to escape the noise of daily life, the sounds of the city, the endless screens, and the internet. They longed for peace. Mike was driving, Josh sat beside him, and Emily was in the back seat, reading from a guidebook about the forest. She told them about an old hermit, who was said to have lived in Black Rock Forest, about the ruins of his cabin, and about strange disappearances in the past. Josh laughed at these stories, and Mike joked that the only danger would be the mosquitoes. They arrived at the forest parking lot in the late afternoon. They left the car and, with backpacks on their shoulders, set off deeper into the woods. Their goal was a secluded spot by a lake. The sun was beginning to set. The path led through thicker and thicker trees. Their laughter and conversation faded as they were surrounded by a deep, almost grave-like silence. After 2 hours of hiking, they reached the water. The lake was still as glass, and the quiet around them felt unnatural. They pitched their tent and built a campfire. They sat for hours, roasting marshmallows and talking about plans for the next day. Emily wrote in her journal, describing the strange calm of the place, noting how the silence seemed too deep, as if the forest was listening. The night passed quietly. In the morning, birdsong woke them, but the birds soon fell silent. After breakfast, they decided to explore the area. They walked along the lake until they came upon ruins, what remained of an old stone cabin, perhaps the one Emily had read about. Mike stepped inside, looking around the moss-covered walls. Josh stayed outside, gazing into the forest. Finally, he spoke softly. "Do you feel like someone's watching us?" Mike laughed and shrugged. Emily looked at him seriously and nodded. When they returned to camp, things began to feel strange. The silence was nearly total. No birds, no rustling leaves, no wind. Emily wrote, "The forest feels different today, like it's watching our every move." That night, Mike woke suddenly. He heard a branch snap. He stepped out of the tent with his flashlight and saw something that chilled his blood. Around their camp were fresh footprints, large, heavy boot prints that circled the tent. The tracks led neither to nor from any trail. They simply appeared and disappeared. In the morning, Mike showed Emily and Josh. Josh looked pale. "That's messed up. Who could have been here? We didn't hear anyone." They decided to stay together at the camp for the day, but unease grew among them. By afternoon, a storm rolled in. Mike and Josh went to gather more firewood, while Emily stayed at the tent. When they returned, Emily was gone. Her notebook lay on the ground, open to a page with a brief, chilling note. "He is here. He is not human." Her backpack was scattered, the tent unzipped. All through the night, Mike and Josh searched for her in the rain. They called out, ran with their flashlights, but the forest seemed to swallow their voices. Wherever they looked, only darkness and trees. At one point, Mike swore that in a flash of lightning, he saw a figure between the trees tall, pale, unmoving. It stood and watched them. It did not look human. By morning, as the storm faded, Mike awoke alone. Josh was gone. His backpack lay next to the cold campfire. Mike wandered the forest for 2 more days. He heard footsteps behind him. He felt cold eyes watching. At times, there was a smell of decay, like something old and rotting, walking just behind him. Every night was a nightmare. At last, exhausted and soaked, he stumbled out of the forest's edge. A group of hikers found him there. He was in shock, filthy, shaking. He kept repeating one sentence over and over. "You can't escape. He's there. He's always there." When rescuers returned with him to the site he described as the camp, They found nothing. No tent, no fire, no personal items. But one thing stood out. On a tree, exactly where Mike said their tent had been, was a strange symbol carved into the barker. Circle with 3 claw-like marks slashing through it. The rescuers couldn't explain it. The symbol hadn't been there before. Mike left New York and moved to a remote cabin in Montana. He never returned to Black Rock Forest. He never gave interviews, though questions kept coming. His final journal entry read, "If you hear silence where the forest should be, don't look back."